Hey everyone, it's Maria with MTaylor Creations. Welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to be creating a thank you card for the supervisor I had for my internship over the last year. I was able to graduate this past weekend, and so I'll finish with the internship, and so just wanted to send her a thank you card for all of the time and effort and knowledge that she shared with me during my internship. And so just working on, again, creating a thank you card to send to her. I am using the Simon Says Stamps teacher thank yous stamp set, and so this has a large image of a A plus, and so just wanted to use that and do some repeat stamping. I am using Memento rhubarb stock ink, and just doing a repeat stamp across a panel of 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 or A2 size panel of white cardstock. I did need to move the image around a little bit just because my MISTI wasn't quite large enough to place the image in one location and just move my cardstock around for the entire panel. I was able to move side to side without any problems, but when it came to um, creating multiple lines of the image, I had to move the stamp. Okay, and then I will skip ahead here just to show the finished image, or I'm sorry, the finished panel. I just will set that to the side. Brought out my card base to start working on building up items onto that. So just furnishing that score line, placing that tag die on top there just to kind of see if I like that, and then just pulled the stamp set to this um, front of the card here to see if there's a certain sentiment that I wanted to use from the stamp set. Just kind of playing around with that. Okay, and then this is a card challenge on Instagram. I'll tag the host to it in my description below. And so the card challenge is to have white on white. So it's primarily a white card with just a maybe one accent color. And so with that, I wanted to just bring some interest to the back of the card panel without bringing in any additional colors. And so I brought in the Grateful Thanks embossing folder from Simon Says Stamps, and then also the Grateful Thanks, nope, I'm sorry, the Maple Leaf die set from Simon Says Stamps. I just wanted to use the thanks die out of that. And so it has a shadow die and then also the letters cut out with an outline around the letters. And so I just used the ink to create enough space to be able to cut out the shadow die. And then I will cut out the letters portion 2 times in order to be able to stack up those letters and just have a little bit of dimension for the letters part. Okay, so for the most part, the one set of the letters did stay within the outline, so I just went ahead and used that to my advantage and glued the ones that came out of the outline to the other die set, and just used some Fairly Art precision glue and my reverse tweezers to glue those letters on top of the other ones, just making sure that those are secured there. And I'm not putting much glue. It won't take much to secure these letters to another piece of cardstock, and so just adding little dots of the glue and then just placing those on top of and so just removing the rest of that outline. Okay, so now I'm just trying to figure out where I want to put that tag and the thanks die on the card. I will bring in a stash of eyelets to add to the tag. I chose to go with the rose gold. I felt like it was a pretty good match to that rhubarb stock ink without it necessarily looking like it was a new color being added to the card. And then I've just got some white hemp cord in my stash that I'm able to bring in, and I just doubled that up, and I'm going to run that through the eyelet. And I did double that up because I planned to, I did not plan to add like a bow or anything. And so I wanted just that to look fuller at the top. And so I went ahead and doubled up that cord in order for it to look fuller without having any sort of bow or anything at the top of the tag there. Okay, so just kind of shimmying that around to make sure it's secure. Okay. And then I'm adding the panel, the embossed panel, to my cardstock, card base. Okay, so here I'm just adding some adhesive to the back of the tag. Normally I would use foam tape, but this eyelet has a very minimal profile, so I didn't feel like it was necessary to add foam tape. The ATG does work perfectly to adhere to the embossed areas of the panel behind it. And then just working on the thanks die that I've created, I did add a little scrap of cardstock behind the sort of the K and the S area where it's going to hang off of the tag, just to make sure that there wasn't a dip in the die. And so just working to adhere that now to the card panel here. And I will adhere this straight. I did have the tag at just a slight angle just for some interest. And of course brought in my T-square ruler to help make sure that the thanks was as straight as I could get it. Okay. Adding in some of the Positively Dazzling gems. This is in the clear color. Just figuring out where I want to put those gems. Off the excess cord at the top of the tag. Okay, I did lose some footage, but I still wanted to share just a couple of images of the cards just to show the last little bit of what I did. I cut out a sentiment strip just to kind of finish the thanks sentiment, and added just right below the thanks sentiment, and then I went ahead and added the some glossy accents to the thanks letters just to add a bit more dimension. Okay, and that does finish off my card project for today. Thank you so much for checking out this video. If you did like the video, if you would press the like button and subscribe if you haven't yet. Thank you so much.